The big story we're tracking this afternoon, Indian Army targeted Naga terrorist camps along the Indo-Myanmar border this morning, successfully hitting NSCN cadres. A massive gunfight erupted at around 4:45 this morning, resulting in the killing of several NSCN terrorists. Acting on a specific intelligence input, para-commandos targeted terrorists at the Indo-Myanmar border. Although the Naga terrorists fired at troops, but no casualties were suffered by the Indian Army, and this is being seen as another successful operation. This is the second such strike the Army has carried out along the Myanmar border. In June 2015, the Army had targeted NSCN camps days after the group's militants ambushed and killed 18 Indian soldiers in Manipur. We have RSN Singh, defense expert, who's with us on the phone line. Mr. Singh, a huge success here for the Indian Army, and they're also happy with the fact that no casualties reported on the side of the Indian Army.
I think there's a strong message which has gone. This is the third time we are carrying out this sort of a strike. That is twice in Myanmar territory and once in Pakistani territory. And you are absolutely right. I mean, there's no casualty. That speaks of the very detailed and sophisticated planning. But the larger issue here is that what has happened is that ISI and the Chinese, they have been leveraging in all these groups for a very, very long time. And I remember, speaking to my Myanmarese counterparts when I was in government. They used to say that, given the terrain and, the stretch of their army, the Myanmar army, they were not in a position to deal with these fellows, especially this, the Nagas, inhabiting in the Myanmar Naga hills. So this has been being used as a base by not only by the Naga insurgents, that is the Khaplang group, but also the Manipuri insurgents and the Ulfa cadres. They also have had training and other facilities that was provided by the Khaplang group. The most critical thing here is that this is the group which is now coming in the way of achieving total tranquility as far as our Nagaland and Northeast is concerned. So I'm sure that this will have a very, very productive impact as far as the security, the insurgency environment in the Northeast is concerned. And I think this government has done very well as far as Northeast is concerned. I mean, I in my so many years that I have been involved with, in Northeast, both officially and now as a strategic affairs analyst, the Northeast has not been so tranquil and peaceful. And this I'm talking in relative terms. And also let me tell you that when you speak of this Rohingya problem, vis-a-vis Myanmar, please take this into consideration that this sort of a strike cannot happen without coordination with your neighbors, and in this case,
right.
It is.
Mr. Singh, I'm sorry to interrupt you. Hold that thought. We're going to come back to you in just a bit. Home Minister Rajnath Singh is addressing the press. Let's cross live.
Out of it, till 2019.
नहीं क्या बोलेंगे चलिए बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद आज इस
thank you friends. Home Minister has thank you. एक मिनट please. Hello. Yes. He will. Please hold on. Yeah, he wants, but please allow him to speak. No, all of you are in one chorus. Yeah.
नई देश की अर्थव्यवस्था का जहां तक संबंध है,
प्लीज यार,
सारी दुनिया इस सच्चाई को स्वीकार करती है कि भारत पूरे वर्ल्ड की एक फास्टेस्ट ग्रोइंग इकोनॉमी है। और इस सच्चाई को किसी को भूलना नहीं चाहिए.
All right, we're being joined by Lieutenant General Retired Ranjit Rai, who's with us on the phone line. Lieutenant General Rai, your reaction to this successful strike carried out by the Indian Army on the Indo-Myanmar border?
No, Commodore Retired Ranjit Rai, but absolutely, it's a wonderful bit of information that 4:45 this morning, the Indian Army went against the organization called NSCN Kaplang, which is the enemy of India, enemy of the state. I think the surgical strike methodology, the secrecy, has given the Indian Army the confidence to carry out these surprise strikes. Myanmar, which is also troubled, terrorism all over the world, and damage to a nation's growth both in Myanmar and in India. It's good news that now the surgical strike has given experience to the Army how to go about it in absolute secrecy and with absolute success. Another feature seems to be the government, the Prime Minister, the Defense Minister, have given authority to the Army that when they think is absolutely fit and safe, they can carry out surgical strikes. This is a very good new development if it is absolutely the way it was done. And therefore, NSCNK has been taught a lesson, and probably others who are enemies of this state should be taught a lesson. They would refuse to come for the ceasefire, and they carry out attacks on India and the Indian Army and the paramilitary forces. So it's a very different news going out to the world. India is out to suppress in any form anything against the state or terrorism.
Thanks so much for your reaction. Stay on with us. We're also being joined by Lieutenant General Raj Kadian, who's with us on the phone line. Lieutenant General Kadian, you know, a big success for the Army here. This is a difficult terrain, and the fact that they managed to actually eliminate several NSCN cadres without losing any of their men is a huge success for the Army.
Yeah, to put the matter in the correct perspective, the Naga underground movement, which is one of the oldest in India, has been running under the banner of National Socialist Council of Nagaland, or NSCN for short. In early 80s, the movement got split into two. One called itself IM group, named after their two leaders, IS2 and Muiba, and the second group, also under the leader's name Kaplang, who was actually Burmese Naga. The first group accepted a ceasefire with India on the 1st August 1997, which is still holding. But the Kaplang group did not accept a ceasefire. They are still undertaking militant activities. They don't have camps inside India because the Indian security forces have been dominating the entire area. They have their camps across the border in Myanmar. Not because the Myanmar army is supporting them, but because there are certain areas where Myanmar army is not fully effective. Therefore, these people occasionally come across the border and lay ambushes on the Indian security forces, like they had done 2 years ago when we lost 18 boys of a Dogra battalion. So, India had struck back that time also, and they have done it again. Obviously, this is based on some specific intelligence that the Kaplang group, so Nagas, are planning another strike on the Indian security forces. We have full cooperation from the Burmese army. I do not know the details of this operation, whether we crossed the border and how deep we went inside. But these operations, which are carried out in an unknown territory, in an unknown area where you don't know the locals, you cannot bank on the support.
But you know, Lieutenant General Raj Kadian, the Eastern Command of the Army has actually put out a statement saying this wasn't a surgical strike. The attack actually happened on Indian territory.
Whatever, we don't know the details, whether it happened, but we have done it last year or 2 years ago in their territory also.
Right.
Normally they wouldn't have camps bang on the border, they would be somewhat inside. That statement may be true, maybe a diplomatic compulsion. But Burmese army is cooperating with India. We have very friendly relations with them. This operation may not have involved crossing of the border. Whether it was this side or that side, this is a clear signal to the insurgent groups that anybody who is acting against national interest will be hit wherever he is, whether he is in our territory or is in their territory. So whatever has happened, the security force, the Indian army has done a wonderful job. They deserve a pat. the signal should also go to the western neighbor of ours that 1 year ago we had done a similar strike with them. That has not deterred Pakistan enough to stop sending the infiltrators across. That what we did that time was an expression of intent that we have the ability and the will to carry these operations out inside enemy territory. The impact of these operations is more psychological than physical, because psychologically, if you go inside Pakistan territory under the nose of their army post, take out terror camps not only in one but 5 different places simultaneously during the night, it is a big psychological blow to the Pakistan army, or the image of invincibility that they've created in their own country. So Pakistan should also take a hint that when it comes to securing our national interest, we will not flinch from taking any step that is required of us. We will hit the people who are harming our interests anywhere, anytime.
Thanks so much, Lieutenant General Askadan, for speaking to India today. Let's listen into the other defense reactions that we've managed to get.
Periodically, they infiltrate into our area and do mischief. So we keep an eye on this one, and as sketchy reports are available, we know we have our intelligence sources, and we normally keep an eye. But this appears that their movement, or intended movement, was known, and in that area a ambush was laid in a very professional manner, and they have inflicted casualties on this outfit, which has been creating a lot of problems for quite some time. And that is the way professional armies act. He has sent a very clear-cut message that we will not tolerate terrorists striking at us from sanctuaries across borders. If they think they can be safe, well, they are a damn sight mistaken. They will have to think again. They cannot cock a snook at the Indian state from across international borders or lines of control. They cannot kill Indian citizens and security forces and hope to get away unscathed. This practice of one-way traffic along the line of control, along the international border, will now has come to an end. That era has come to an end. This state is now going to hit back, and hit back hard. It is going to raise costs and consequences for those who needlessly, strike at the Indian state, those who needlessly spill blood here. How long can we take it lying down? We have taken it for 30 years.